a couple of new, a Wii Remote, a Wiimote, and some nunchuckers. Nunchucker. So I got those as well, just in case I wanted to have a two-player game with somebody and jump around in the living room playing tennis, which I'm not going to do.
Retro unboxing.
Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jonathan, thanks for watching. Today I'm going to have a look at this Nintendo Wii. It's the first one, and it's the first time I've ever even really looked at one or played on one. I did a video about a year ago of the Nintendo Wii Mini, the little black and red thing. It's on my feed if you want to have a look at it. What I probably should have done was have a look at the original Wii first, to give myself some sort of basis of comparison. But anyway, I didn't. I actually bought this console, it must be about 18 months ago, and it has just sat on well, either on this shelf or a shelf upstairs in the old YouTube studio in the bedroom, or the spare bedroom. And I may have looked in the box, I may have sort of slid out the thing just to double check. So the first thing I'll just mention, and I've mentioned it before when I've looked at other Nintendo consoles, is that for whatever reason Nintendo didn't always seal the boxes. I'm kind of partly on board with that because, particularly with Xbox 360s, when you break the seal you end up ripping half of the box off with it. So I'm kind of slightly on board with it from that point of view, but from a 16-odd-year-old console being definitely 100% brand new, you're never really going to know absolutely certainly. I'm as close to certain with this one as I can be that it's brand new and never been used, but I'm going to unbox it and we're going to find out. I'm not going to play on it in this video. I'm conscious, to be honest, that the videos end up being a little bit too long if I do an unboxing and a setup and all that kind of stuff. So all I really want to do in this video is open this up, I'll show you the outside of the box, open it up, show you what it comes with, and we're basically, as on previous videos, we're on a bit of a journey of discovery. As I say, it's a first for me. I never owned a Nintendo Wii when it first came out in 2006. I was 26, so I considered this a bit of a kid's toy. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm just interested to see what this has got to offer in 2022. See what sort of games are out there. See how the games compare to Nintendo's more modern console, so like the Switch. So yeah, just want to have a bit of a closer look at it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just show you around the box. So that's the front of the box. Now I've double checked. This is the first edition of the Wii. I've double checked. So there's a few revisions. This is the RVL001, and then there was a slightly later version that didn't have the stand. I think it had the GameCube controller ports removed, all that kind of stuff. But that is the box. As you can see, it is pretty sweet. That's the one side, which is pretty blank, and then this side has all of the general information. You can see up in the corner somewhere that it says the edition, the RVL001. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? It's actually been a little bit bashed around a bit since I've had it on my shelves. I've moved around the house a few times, and you do tend to catch these things. So there's the odd little mark and nick here and there on the box, but overall, we're going to call that 9 out of 10 on condition of the box. So what I do know with these things is that they come in two little trays. I think I'm going to open it from this end. Should I open it from this end or this end? I don't think it really matters. I'll open it from this end. And then you've got to make sure that you slide it out the right way. And in this case, it's this way round. So For whatever reason, these came in little trays. I'm just going to pop that just there. So we've got 2 trays of stuff. One tray clearly has the console, and one tray clearly has some other bits. Upon immediate inspection, my first instinct is that this is new, possibly never even been lifted out of the box. So that's good. That's what I'm looking for. As I've said on many videos before, the whole point of this for me is to experience what it's like to get one of these things new, and open it up and be the first person to look at it, use it. It's exciting. I get very excited. I get very childish and giddy. As you can see, this is about as giddy and childish and excited as I get. So, what have we got in here? What do we look at first? I'm not always sure on the protocol of these things. I run an unboxing channel, but I'm never quite sure. It's like having Sunday dinner. Do I start with my Yorkshire pudding? What do I leave till last? Do I leave the roast beef till last? Do I leave some gravy on the plate? Do I eat all the veg first because that's the least exciting bit? So, again, do I do all the boring stuff first? Do I look at the cables? Do I look at the power brick? Do I look at what I know over there to be the stand? Do I look at the fact that it's got 16-year-old batteries, still sealed, not leaking, in a little sealed pack? Do I get excited over batteries first? Please help me. I'm obviously going absolutely mental here. Right, so just going to get this first because this has got loads of stuff in it. Jesus, there is a lot of stuff in this box. So, textbook Nintendo, you get a lot of booklets. Also got the Wii Sports disc, so that's this thing here, which I forgot to mention earlier. This is the Wii Sports edition. So yeah, that's what you get. Now, got to be honest with you, I have absolutely zero intention of plugging this into my big telly in the house and starting to throw one of the nunchuckers around and do all of that malarkey. So I probably won't even play that. I'm more interested in like the Mario games, the platform games, maybe Mario Kart, that kind of stuff. But anyway, so there's that. We have an operations manual, which has got some instructions, which I shall put over there. We have a further operations manual, so this one is for channels and settings, and this one is for setup. I wonder how many of these were actually read. Oh, I just saw there an option to, oh, this is how to connect it to a router. Don't think we need that. There's a Nintendo Club leaflet thingy, another Wii Sports Nintendo Club Wii leaflet thingy, a health and safety precautions booklet, which looks probably the same as the one that came with the Super Nintendo back in the day. We have the Wii Sports instruction manual. We have a quick setup leaflet, that is very quick, and we have a guy sat on a sofa swinging his nunchuckers around. This one's just got a few nice little bits of art and some lady doing yoga on the Wii Fit board. Anyhow, so what I'm going to do, because I have no interest in all of that, is carefully pop it back in its bag and set it to one side. Now, when I've finished these unboxings, what I actually do is a rebox, so I end up having to watch my video back to see how everything comes out of the box, and then I try and put everything back in as nicely as possible. So here's another exciting item, the SCART connector. So obviously in 2006 when these came out, no such thing as HDMI, or I think HDMI maybe have just come out like 2006, 2007-ish. No such thing as HD or HD TV. So this was designed to stick into the back of an old telly with a little SCART connector and the 3 little composite, is it composite or component? Either way, the yellow thing, the white thing and the red thing. I'm going to ignore that for a minute because I do know what that is and I do not want to use it. So this is the cable that would have plugged it into the TV. That's the connector that goes into the back of the Nintendo, and they would go into the TV or into the little SCART block, like so, and plug it into your SCART. Let's drop that over there. Power adapter. Now, I'm a big fan, if I'm honest, of having the power adapter as a separate power brick. If there's a problem, it's easy to replace. It also keeps the size of the console down to a bare minimum. So that's the power cable. We also have the stand. So I think this particular version, you could have it vertical or horizontal. If you had it vertically, you have this little plastic stand. Yeah, it's plastic, and so you could slide that off. Right, so we've eaten all the veg and all the bits that you don't really want, but you've got to have it because it's all on your Sunday dinner. Now we're down to the stuffing, the Yorkshire pudding and the roast beef. So let's have a look at the stuffing and the Yorkshire pudding, shall we? So we've got the controller. So we've got the little nunchuck thingies and the Wiimote thingy. Let's have a gentle look at these things. Okay, so that is the Wiimote. Very exciting. So this comes with a little rubber Johnny thing, and I was wondering on the Wii Mini video as to whether these originally came with a rubber Johnny, because there was the whole incidents where there were, people didn't put the wrist thing on, and you were, wanging around your mum's living room and knocking all her ornaments off and smashing her chandeliers and all that kind of business. But yeah, so that's the controllers for the Wii. One bit plugs into the other bit, so you got the male, you got the female, and the male plugs into the male like so, and then you, like I say, you wang them around and you play tennis or you play golf or whatever. But as I said earlier, I've got no intention of doing any of that. So all I'm pretty much going to use is this, because you can just use it as a kind of normal controller. D-pad, A, B, 1, 2, whatever. So you can just play Mario as you normally would. Or you could just buy, a suitable controller like that, which I'd obviously already got. But I'd want a white one. If I was playing on a white console, I would want a white controller. Anyhow, so that's the controllers. So I'm just going to unplug that, pop that over there. So it's basically like a deconstructed controller with kind of motion control sensors in there. I think this is the one. I imagine that's the only one with the motion control, and then that's just a joystick. And now we're on to the roast beef of the video. Let's have a look at what we've come to see. The Wii console. The Wii console. So, kind of quite excited to be the first person ever to touch this. or maybe the person that packed it in the factory, but you know what I mean. So there we have it, the Wii. You can have it, nearly dropped a bloody thing. So you can either have it that way around or that way around. If you have it that way around, you can stick it on the stand and use it that way. The first thing I'm immediately curious about is that I seem to remember that these were compatible with GameCubes, because I know on the top here it's got the controller ports for said GameCube controllers, and just here I wasn't aware actually until I'd just been having a look on the side of the box. You can actually use GameCube memory cards. But what I am curious about is that the disc slot is obviously for a full-size disc, so how that would accept a GameCube disc. So yeah, not entirely sure how to stick a GameCube game in there. On the bottom here we have what seems to be a vent, probably a fan, and then some information about the console, what model it is. Does it say the release year? Doesn't say the release year, but it does say RVL001. So that's the first edition. On the back we've got power, we've got AV out, we've got the port for the sensor bar, and then a couple of USBs. So I'm not entirely sure what USB devices you could plug into one of these, but apparently you can. And then on the front, obviously we've got the disc tray, we've got the power reset and the eject buttons, and then just behind there we've got a sync button. I assume for connecting wireless controllers, and an SD card slot. Again, I presume for saving games. I'm also not entirely sure whether this contains any memory, any flash storage for game saves. I think it must do, because, and someone might be able to tell me below in the comments, you can get on the Wii App Store, I believe. So maybe you can download games to the console, or maybe you have to download them to an SD card. Maybe I'll find that out in my follow-up video in a couple of weeks' time and actually plug this into a telly and have a go with it. So anyway, that's the console. So that's kind of about it, really. That's pretty much everything for this video. As I say, it was just I suppose you'd call it a bit of a show and tell. So let's just see how we attach this to the stand. Definitely has to go that way around because you've got a little notch at the back there which sits into the thing there, and then that sits there nicely. Very tiny little thing. It's pretty cool. I quite like it. I like white consoles. I like white gloss consoles because you don't see all the scratches on them quite so much. But yeah, nice little console. So there was a couple of other things I did pick up with the console. Actually just came a couple of new a Wii remote, a Wiimote, and some nunchuckers. Nunchucker. So I got those as well, just in case I wanted to have a two-player game with somebody and jump around in the living room playing tennis, which I'm not going to do. So there was those. Pop those there, and then I did pick up some games. Obviously picked up a few classics, none that I believe absolutely require the whole nunchucker scenario, but I mean, it'd be rude to get a Nintendo console without Tetris, and likewise it'd be rude to get a Nintendo console without Mario Kart. Indeed, the same goes for Super Mario Galaxy, which was the kind of sequel to Mario 64, I suppose, the 3D Mario, and then Sonic and Mario, and then a bit of a Donkey Kong game, which again, be rude not to get a Donkey Kong game. So, hope you have enjoyed having a look at the Nintendo Wii balls. So, I hope you've had as much fun having a look at this Nintendo Wii with me as I've had having a look at it. Like I say, second video will come along in the next week or two. I'm going to plug it in, I'm going to have a bit of a play with it, going to have a look at these games and kind of just get a general feel of how it is to still play a 16-year-old console, see how it compares to maybe the Switch, maybe the Wii U. I think the Switch is probably the best comparison, just to kind of have them maybe side by side and see how it looks. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. See you soon, take care.
Retro Unboxing.